Good day to everybody. My name is Ronan Stanchfield. You may know me as R.J. Stanchfield or Ron, Ronnie, and I'm even called Scratch by a few people who happen to play cards or shoot pool, as a matter of fact. So I'm here to introduce you to my site. You've landed on the cafe page, which is like the home page. And from there, I'll go through it with you. Basically, my site is for you, and it's for me to show to you what I've done in, the past 45, 55 years, including writing books, created some artwork, did a movie or two, and some other things. And so it's me collecting everything, which is good and bad. I hope you like it. I tried very much to be sensitive to my friends and what they would like, so I'm hoping this works. And this is the first of what will be many, uh, I guess you can call it blogs or vlogs, or just I call it standing on the or sitting on the stoop, because that's where I first started to tell stories. And I consider myself a storyteller, not a writer, not an author, or anything like that. And the reason for that is I'm interested in the story and the story only. If it is grammatically imperfect, so be it. It's not the end of the world for me. For me, it's important that I get across the good story. And I think I've done that, but you're the judge of that, not me. Okay, so you've landed on the cafe. That's a cafe in France. I won't tell you where because I'm not sure, because it came on a postcard, and I'm using it. So, uh, but it looks familiar to many of the cafes I've been to. I love that country, and I love other countries too as well. In any case, I won't get into that right now. But to initially present to you the site, rather than just scroll, let me tell you why you're scrolling. The first thing after the cafe is the two sales that are up right now, which are two books I've written in the last 6 months. I haven't written them in 6 months, but they're out for the last 6 months, or at least one of them is. One is just about going out now. So that's the introduction to the book. And then right after that is a sampling room. And the sampling room is designed to allow you to download either a short story or a chapter. And then you can get a flavor for what both the novel is and what kind of short stories I tell. So, okay, after that, there's already a number of reviews on Amazon, so I copied them and put them on here. After that is a biography of me. And I wish it was like a lot longer, but it's they only put all the good things on. And after that, we have a whole bunch of things. And let me just kind of read them to you. This is the one that comes after the biography. So when you get to this site, you've gotten just past the biography, and we are now on the stoop. I may change it to blogs or whatever, but right now it's on the stoop. After this, I have some spoken words, which will go into the audio books of both the short stories and the novel. But you'll hear the spokesperson I like. Her name is Drew Arnold, and I think she's great. And she's a good actress, and she's a great speaker. So take a listen to her. Also, after that is The idea that I know after many years on this earth that um, every person has a story in them, everybody. And I know most people won't tell the story unless there's a real good reason, unless they've had too much to drink or whatever. But I want them to feel safe in telling their story. So I've suggested to them that they send the elements of the story, of the who, what, where, when, and why, and send it to me with the outline of the story. I'll write it, and then I'll give us both credit for it. And then what I'll do is once I get about 20, 25 stories written, which will take the better part of a year or less, probably a lot less maybe, then we'll publish it and we'll have a book and y'all can, we can all make some money. So that's what that's about. I'd really appreciate that. And you really should do it because it's fun. If you get the short story book, which is called The Little Black Book and Short Stories, you'll be able to see an example of this. After that, you're going to go to the blogs, okay? And then after that, you're going to go to my other writings because I used to be a copywriter. So I give you a little bit of flavor of the copy I've written. These are in political commercials. And the reason is because they also sell stories. Also is I was an anti-nuclear activist after being an anti-war activist. And there's a whole section on that, including a docudrama that I wrote and produced. After that, I should tell you, is it's the four sections of the story. And then it is my artwork. I forgot all about it. I'm an artist also. And I have two kinds of interests in art. I like to make comic art. In other words, I like to make fun of other artists. And in this case, there's three uh, Magrittes, because I like Magritte and he's easy to make fun of. And I did a couple of three jobs. I haven't priced those yet, but I'll be very reasonably priced when I do that. I also do a new form of art called abstract portraiture. And in this case, the show-off pieces that I'm using is I've done the portraits, the abstract portraits of famous people. And because I think there's a market for that, after that, I've done a family group, for instance. I put that up there, and that's that. Now, what else do I have down here? Oh, I know what I do. One of the things that happened to me when I was very young was that my daughter came home from school and told my wife, I know what daddy is. And my wife said, well, what do you mean? And she says, well, daddy is a big fish. She'd just seen the movie Big Fish. And when I heard about that, I laughed like crazy. It was absolutely wonderful. And sure enough, I've decided that I need to give the movie Big Fish a good section, not a big section, but a section of this website because I owe that story because it's really a story of stories. And it's a magnificently well performed, good constructed movie. It's something I love to write. But I wanted to show you the way they did the ending, which was going through three different um, phases. One was the reality. Okay, that was uh, that's the reality of what happened, I guess. Um, and you see that, and that's rather funny. Then there's the ideality, which is the idea of the whole movie. And then there's the immortality of the big fish. And that's what I end it with. And that's the whole site. So please come to the site. Please take a look at it. And if you're so willing, buy one of the books. It's the only thing I have for sale now. But you could also listen to 100 songs that I put on there for you to listen to. All right, well, listen, thanks very much for your time. I do appreciate it. And we'll see you again. Thank you. Bye bye.